back on Good Morning Football. Time for Will Selva out on the West Coast, keeping track of everything news-related and things to watch after last night.
Yes, absolutely. After last night, one of the people that we are also talking about is C.J. Gardner-Johnson, certainly making his presence felt in Philadelphia. He actually had just 5 interceptions his first 3 seasons with the Saints, but since joining the Eagles, he already has 5. He went one-on-one with our guy James Palmer after their win over Houston.
CJ, in week 2, I remember going to your locker and talking to you, and you said, I feel like I've been playing here for a long time. I fit in with this secondary. Is this the best secondary in football right now?
For sure. With James, Slay, me, Epps, Vontae, Kavon, Wallace coming in. We got a nice little group back there that we put together when we come in and play together. We work hard every week, you know what I'm saying? Just deep film study, that's all it is. You know, if your IQ is high, then you go out there and play faster than anybody.
First time in the Eagles' history you're 8-0 to start a season. How's that feel?
Gotta love it. Fly, baby, let's fly.
Yeah, well, speaking of players joining new teams, tight end TJ Hawkinson recently acquired by the Vikings in a trade with the Lions. In just one day, he went from worst to first in the NFC North. And while he grew up in Iowa, Vikings loyalty runs deep in his family.
My dad grew up a Minnesota fan. His room was painted purple and yellow, so it's kind of hitting home for sure. But I'm excited to be back in the Midwest. I mean, you know, they call Michigan the Midwest, but this is really the true Midwest. So I'm excited to be here for sure.
Yeah, excited to be there for sure. And it certainly feels like somebody else probably had their walls painted purple and yellow, Peter. I think it might have been our gal, Jamie Erdahl. Just saying.
There wasn't any yellow, but I did have like a purple fade that happened in my room. It was, sometimes the purple, it just takes over your whole life.
Skull. Her bumper sticker says skull.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just embody it.
Just from a Welde Moore jersey. She's rocking with Matthew Hatchett. Jamie goes deep on those Vikings from the 90s and the 2000s.
Big fan of Matt Burke, too.
Indeed.
That's it. Let's go into that Wayback Machine. Well, let's go a little retro, and let's go to the arcade, where we're going to play some GMFB Jam. This is a fun segment we've been doing every week this season. We each pick a running back, wide receiver duo from the same team that we think will have the best fantasy week. Then we face off and do high scores and the whole thing. We've been doing this every single week. Jason McCourty had yet to win a single week going into this week. Let's take a look at the standings.
You don't have to say that.
Jason, did you finally...
It's just the facts.
Yeah, we get facts. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, you beat Jason.
Sorry, Jason. I did beat you, and it was closer than I thought it would be. But your guys did okay, but I was the winner last week in that matchup. And do we have Jamie's and Kyle's matchup as well? Or am I just okay? We got this one here.
Oh, I handed Kyle his first loss.
Nice.
A.J. Brown,
Kyle was undefeated. Let's see the standings if we can here. Kyle's still at the top. But now he's got that one loss. Jason's still an 0 for. Jason, look at the Eagles, but the inverse Eagles.
And Jason, say your point that you always like to say about the standings.
You see that. Points-wise, I am ahead of Jamie. So you try to find your wins where you can find them, but there's always a week to bounce back, and why not this week?
Thought we left that in Cleveland.
Uber optimism. Ever the optimist.
Jason, you did play on a winless Cleveland Browns team. Let's move right along here.
I won't
Jason,
do it again.
You will face off against Jamie, and I'm going to take on Sean. Jason, why don't you start us off? Please, dude, just get a win. I'm sick of doing this.
Yeah, I'm going DJ Moore and Dante Foreman.
Those are your guys.
Yes, these are going to be my guys. They were electric last week, and I have faith in them. They're going against the Cincinnati Bengals. They're looking for a bounce back. But as I said earlier, Cincinnati is banged up in the secondary. Their corners coach even, Charles Burks, my guy. I was in Miami with him last year. He even tweaked his hamstring this week.
Come on, Charles.
Doing some drills with the DBs. Come on, Chuck. So they're banged up back there. DJ Moore, go have a day. Chuck may have to get out there and try to cover you with that banged up hamstring. So yes, this is going to be my first victory. I'm taking James.
Wow, he's putting it in print. Like, that's it. Victory.
Shout out the game skee ball. The balls used to come down and like pinch your fingers if you just got to wait for them to settle before you can grab one of them. I'm going with a pair that I don't think we have touched this team yet this season, but it's because the ball gets spread around so much on offense, taking a little bit of a risk with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Juju Smith-Schuster, because easily Patrick Mahomes could just decide that, like, no, I'm going to give Travis Kelce a day. So let's go with the guys. Kansas City, they are hosting the Titans, and I think they're going to carve up that defense. But this is risky, and I understand when I'm going out on a limb, but Jason, fair match this week. Good luck, my friend.
Titans defense, come through for me.
Let's go. All right, Sean. We've got the Panthers versus the Chiefs. On to our matchup. You are representing Kyle. This is like, I am the ambassador for Kyle. All right, Sean. So who does Kyle pick that you're going to be the one selecting?
Yeah, that sounds very official, the ambassador for Kyle Brandt. I'm sure that somebody out there would love to have that title. KP, what do you got? You going with some angry runners? You going with some yoked up receivers? Yes, indeed. Kenneth Walker and DK Metcalf is where he's going. Kenneth Walker actually kind of got slowed down a little bit by the Giants last week, but DK Metcalf and Geno Smith, boy, Geno is spinning it. I mean, he looks phenomenal. So this is a tough matchup for you, Peter, right here, because DK Metcalf, he almost had a touchdown catch last week. It kind of went through his hand a little bit, had a little drop. We saw Lockett kind of bounce back from that too, but Kenneth Walker has been unbelievable. Running with power, energy, ever since Rashad Penny went down. He's really stepped up big, so you got your hands full. Who you got?
Great momentum there. We've had DK Metcalf on the show a million times. We love DK Metcalf. I'm not letting him beat me here. That is not going to happen because I'm going with another great wide receiver, and I'm going with the leading receiver in the NFL. A guy who's on pace to shatter Calvin Johnson's record. Give me Tyreek. Give me Tyreek in the cold. Tyreek Hill, and I'm going Raheem Mostert. I'm taking these guys up in Chicago. And Mostert could put up 1 yard. I'm banking on Tyreek to do the job here. I'm looking at a 200-yard day from Tyreek Hill. He's going to do a number on that Chicago defense that just gave up 49 points to the Cowboys.
And Roquan Smith.
And Roquan Smith is gone. Tyreek, Lord Reek, the cheetah. I'm going with these guys right here. DK, we love him as a guy, but you're not beating me this week, DK. No, friend of the show, not a friend of mine. Let's go.
Peter, there was a battle between you two, right? Like you couldn't decide like who was gonna get DJ Moore and Dante Foreman. Like you must have thought that like that was gonna be. It makes me nervous about this.
I went back and forth with Miami
Don't ever be
before
nervous.
I did that.
If he took him, I'm sorry, Panthers fans. It ain't happening.
Oh no!
Helmet off.
This is what they think of me right here on this show.
J-Mac,
I'm excited about this week.
Can I just say real quick, I feel like I represent America, and last year we were all rooting for the Detroit Lions to get their first win. We're all pulling
That's
for
how
them.
we feel. That's not how I feel.
Everybody rooted for Cleveland.
JD's not pulling for
first
it.
win.
I like you. I like you every
but
segment except for the 8C segment.
Yeah.
I'm okay.